What's going on? Brand new episode on the court in the booth, and we have got so much awesome stuff for you. We're going to start out with the would you rather question like we did last time. And for our would you rather question to kick everything off, if I can get my rundown up here. Here we go. Would you rather question, and it is, would you rather like this be like Earth be a simulation, or have reincarnation be real? And Trey, I'll let you go first.
I would go reincarnation.
What would you want to come back as?
I don't know.
Would you want to come back as a basketball player again and
No,
kind of follow the same path?
Basketball player. It couldn't be myself. It couldn't be another, or it couldn't be. It could, if it's a human, it couldn't be somebody that's like me at all. Have to be somebody completely different.
Okay, so like super into social media, not an athlete. Yeah. Okay, so you would be like, I wouldn't like you. I wouldn't like the next version of Trey.
No,
we wouldn't be friends.
No, maybe a bird. I'd come back as a bird.
Did you just hear that? I was laughing, and like when I was breathing in, I just got a drink of water, and I had some water in the back of my mouth, and I went like that on the way in. Did you not hear it?
No.
Dude, you missed the go. It was like I was like, literally.
That's awesome.
So that was a good one. But
what a good start to this episode.
It's been incredible. Wow. It really has. And I haven't even answered this yet. So it's really ready to get good. So I'll just get reincarnation or the world be a simulation. That to me was super hard to kind of come to an answer with here, because like reincarnation would be cool because then it's like you get another shot at life. You get to, experience it again. Because I obviously some people,
like I said, as a bird,
sure, as a bird flying high over everything. Yeah, that would be dope. I feel like being an animal in general. I mean, as long as you're not one that's like being hunted all the time, I feel like that would be dope because it's like you literally get to just live in your ultimate state of happiness at all times. Like you don't have to worry about taxes. Exactly. You don't have the mind to like worry about death, or worried about religion, or worry about politics, or worry about like none of that stuff exists. The only thing you're worried about is making sure that you and your family eat and that you get water, and you pretty much just kind of lounge all day. And like I want to be like some kind of beach animal that like just chills, like a manatee would be dope. Get to just swim around in the ocean, or a dolphin. A dolphin would be really cool. But kind of foreshadowing here on the simulation talk, even though neither of us did go with simulation, I'm going with reincarnation as well. So with that being said, we're going to talk some simulation theory in this episode. We're going to talk Draymond Green and JJ Redick and that whole situation, which has been spiraling with the playoffs and going crazy. We got a 1-minute challenge. We both have cups. Trey's got it over in front of him. My cup's right there. And for our 1-minute challenge, whenever the timer goes off, we don't know what time it's going to go off. It could go off at any time. And when it does, we have to take these pins. And are we doing first one to go up by 2, or are we just doing first one to make one?
First one to make one. And you can only have 3. So.
Oh, you can only have 3. Well, I'm already cheating because I have 7.
Yeah.
7. So, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get my 3 here. I'll put these back and I'll quit cheating. So there is that. I got my 3 here ready to go. Cups behind me, good to go. So that, like I said, that could go off at any time. And as soon as that goes off, it's go time. Well, no matter what we're talking about, all that stuff, we go. Boom. Boom, we go. So with that being said, we got a great episode planned out here for you guys. We are going to go to the intro real quick. And when we come back, we're going to talk some simulation theory. We're going crazy. My mind's about to blow. I can already tell. Trey, you've got that look that you give me whenever it's like 2:00 in the morning and you want to talk about something that like my brain cannot comprehend.
Oh, yeah.
and you teach me in some crazy valuable lesson in the middle of the night and like something that I'll hold with me forever. So I'm excited for this. This is going to be awesome. So let's get to the intro and let's do this.
Yep.
All right.
We're back.
We are back. That is said. Trey, you've brought some information here. We talked about this. I loved how this whole thing came about. So I got a text yesterday at 10:30 in the morning that said, "Let's talk about simulation theory on the podcast." That's a great idea right off. And I cannot complain. We're going to talk about some awesome stuff. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get completely out of the way. Let's do this, Trey. Dive in. Tell us what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I am super nervous to kind of present this information.
This is bringing back anxiety of high school class projects for Trey right now.
It's like a presentation. Like, I thought it was a cool idea, and then I was supposed to do research, and once again I winged it completely to the last minute. And I called Wyatt, I don't know, maybe about an hour ago, and I was like, "Hey Wyatt, let's push it back 30 minutes so I can study." And I took a nap during that 30 minutes, so I didn't study
there you go.
then either.
So well, you were dreaming about simulation theory. That's what happened. Actually, what's funny is I did study during that time. I went on YouTube on my TV and looked at 2 videos for simulation theory. One was Elon Musk explaining it, and then the second was another infographics, something, some kind of, those YouTube videos where it's like all animated and they explain, crazy things on Earth. So anyways, sir, your simulation theory, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, it is a newer theory in general. I'll make sure I get this guy's name right, but it's a philosopher by the name of Nick Bostrom who developed it. But it's kind of like in some ways, has some aspects from other philosophers such as Plato and Descartes. It reminds me a little bit of Descartes' kind of evil God theory that he talks about in his book Meditations. And for a lot of these terms, a lot of guys aren't gonna understand what I'm talking about here. But basically, it is that it's kind of like the movie Matrix. So the theory is that there's only 3 possibilities that we could live in. And it goes off of kind of like the technological advances in the past 50 years. And so if you look at, everything that we've advanced in the past 50 years, imagine expanding that for the next, decade, for the next century, on and on and on. And what point do we get to? And so it's like there's 3 possibilities to where 1, humans go extinct. And so we never develop this technology that I'm about ready to talk about. 2, we do develop the technology and we just decide not to use it. And 3, we develop the technology that I'm going to talk about. So the technology is basically having kind of like the game The Sims, where it's just a simulation of like reality. So like, Wyatt, have you played Sims before?
Briefly, I've kind of, I never really played it that much. I'm more of a sports game kind of guy, but I've played it here and there at a time or two, and I've seen other people play it, so I know the general gist of it. Just it's like a simulated, it's another simulated universe you can have on your phone or your whatever console you play on.
But I guess the difference between the next level to that was actually having these sim characters have their own minds and have their own feelings, emotions, values, having that kind of environment to them. And so, if you believe that we can get to that technology, which, like you said, past 50 years, all the advances that we've had in that field, um, if we can do that, then those are the only three possibilities that we can have. And so, out of those three possibilities, the easiest, um, not the easiest, but odds are that the one that's going to happen is that we do, in fact, use the technology. And so that's kind of where simulation theory comes from. Um, and so you could argue, so, maybe people think that we're going to go like extinct, like, humanity is going to go extinct before this technology comes on. And again, my argument to that would be in favor. Again, I'm kind of playing the devil's advocate here. Would be that, you know, if we've had this much growth in 50 years, when do you think humans are going to become extinct? That makes sense. Is then is then the next century? Is it in the next 2 centuries? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, like, if that's your argument, then that's kind of, I guess that's another philosophical top, kind of debate we could get into. Um, but, and so there's that route. And then the other route is maybe we lay some kind of like moral or ethical matter down to where we can't, you know, simulate these realities. We can't create robots that are kind of, autonomous, to where they have the minds of their own. And so,
I saw something pretty interesting with it. I saw basically the video was explaining, like, with science's ultimate goal is to produce a universe, to successfully produce another universe and simulate another universe. So with that being said, let's say, that there's the original universe right here, and it's this baseball. This baseball is the original universe. And this baseball goes on and makes 3 more baseball universes. Then those baseballs make 3 more, 3 more, 3 more. It's almost like kind of like a pyramid scheme almost. But pretty much the way they explained it is it's that, and there's a greater chance that we are one of the infinite number of the trees than we are the one. See what I mean?
exactly, yeah. And so that would be exactly. So that would be the proof for it. Is like you said, if that, so the odds are that we are going to use this technology, and if we do, then there's going to be an infinite number of these universes, these simulated realities that are going to be created, and the odds are that we weren't the first ones that did such a thing. And so you could go into kind of, I know we talked about the Mandela effect a little bit on this episode, where kind of large portions of people have the same idea, randomly have kind of the same idea, like false idea, and you could say that's kind of a glitch in the simulated reality. Another example is deja vu. That's another kind of thing that scientists still can't explain. Kind of a psychological phenomenon that scientists still can't explain. That would help simulation theory, and then kind of I would ghost would be another one. Hallucinations and ghost would be another one. And so those are explained by just kind of glitches in the matrix or simulation theory, whatever you want to say. But yeah, so I mean, to me, it's a pretty good, pretty thorough overall kind of theory.
Yeah. No, I find it wild too. And something else I saw was this is what like kind of struck my eye too in the whole argument with it was, if people are saying that there could be this alternate reality that's better, but if you think about it, if it was better than this reality, then why would they have made this reality? So some people argue that like this is the ultimate reality, that humans or a species, whatever you want to call us, this is like the ultimate reality that we could live in, because it's the one that's, if it is simulated, then this is the one that, was was made for that. So basically the way they explained it too was like the other place, the other universe, let's say we're in a computer right now, and wherever the computer is, that computer, the reason why they're making, if that world was just as good as this one or better, then they wouldn't be you see, like they wouldn't be simulating. You see what I mean? They wouldn't be simulating this alternate universe. So a lot of people say with the theory too is like that this is the ultimate version of life. Which isn't that crazy? Like with all like how screwed up the world is and everything that goes on around us and all that this is what the possible ultimate like version looks like. Like it can get worse than this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but what was the solution to it, or what was the reason that they thought it was the ultimate one?
Well, because because if the other universe was as good or better, the argument is they wouldn't have simulated this one. That other people wouldn't want to be involved in simulating this, because why would you simulate something that is not as good as what you're in? That's the argument behind it.
Okay, so I see that, but I'm thinking more of like, what if it's just for fun? Like when we play the game Sims, when we play, I don't know, GTA, like an open world game like that, like it's just kind of for the fun of it. You know what I mean? Like it's not really, but it's a game. And so when you look at but how much games have developed from Pong on Atari and like Pac-Man and
Yeah.
kind of these retro
Oh,
games.
go. No, my mic is blocking it. Move, Mike. Here we go. First try for the win. Calling this. Are you ready? I know you. I'm gonna give you time. You have to set yours up. I know that. Let me know when you're ready, and then we'll both go. Ready? Oh, you didn't tell me ready, you cheater. No! I already knocked my cup over. No. Shoot. No. Oh, God. Game. Oh, game. No, game. Oh, God. Have you hit one yet? Okay, no. No. No, dude, I landed it in, but it rolled over. Last one for the ages right here. I'm making it on this one. It's over. Game time. That was so bad. Are you struggling as much as I am right now? I can't even hear him. Is our audio off? Can you hear me? I can't hear. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh. Is there like a both of us lose button? I think that's what we're starting to come to. Did you hit one? I can't hear him. My mic on? Okay. No. Come on. This is so tough. Gosh dang it. Are you? Come on. No. Oh. Come on. Do we call it now? I feel like we have to call it now. Okay, here. We get 3 each more. 3. Can you not hear me? Oh my Lord. Nope. Oh. I got it. I haven't touched it. Here. I got it. The cup's on the ground, and the pin is in it. Does that count? Does that count? I don't know if that counts. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you not hear me?
There we go. I can hear you now. Okay, does that count?
That counts. We're
So
good.
I win?
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh, yes. We're tied 1-1. Good game, sir. That was so much tougher than what I thought it was going to be. I mean, way tougher. I didn't realize I could get so out of breath on just throwing pins.
Wow. Well, I got to work on my pin shooting here.
Oh, man, that's good. So now that we've just went 1,000 mile an hour for a minute, we're going to take it down. We're going to do the meditation minute real quick. And then when we return, we'll have more on the court in the booth. I got to find it here. Where's it at? There it is. Okay. All right. Meditation minute. We'll be right back. All right, let's go. Meditation minute. Absolutely incredible every single time. I'm glad because I can use my phone now for the rundown since I couldn't see the timer. So before I was having to switch between tabs to get to the rundown, but now I'm good. So with that being said, after the meditation minute, we're getting into some Draymond Green talk. So basically, you know of the Draymond Green situation with the technical foul and you know, everything going on with that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So pretty much, Chris, the Mad Dog Russo, one of the greatest sports media personalities of all time, got absolutely destroyed, and I mean destroyed, by JJ Redick on First Take over this. Chris got on there and was talking, and he was like, oh, you know, all these players these days, you know, Draymond gets ejected from the game, so he, you know, does all this stuff, and he, you know, laughs and jumps around the court and leaves and, you know, gives the fans while they're booing him the bird, and then goes home and does his podcast. So Mad Dog gets mad at this. Mad Dog gets mad. There you go. Mad Dog gets mad at this and pretty much comes on First Take and is like, this is the problem with today's NBA and all this stuff. And JJ Redick just clamped him down. I mean, just absolutely shut him down. So your reaction to the whole situation with Draymond, I mean, obviously he's a passionate player. He's always been a passionate player. He plays with, you know, his emotions outward. And that's, in my opinion, that's what's made Draymond. That's why he's a Hall of Famer, is the stuff that he's done. So your reaction to the whole situation.
I mean, first off, is my mic good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I think that, I don't know, man. I mean, I think Draymond plays a certain way, and you know, if you like, you know, whether you like it or not, that's kind of, you know, his just way of playing. And when, you know, as a veteran in the NBA, like, an all-star, probably a Hall of Fame player. Um, you can't really doubt what he's brought, to this point. And so it's like, why would you change that? It's the same thing that I would say about, what people are saying about Russell Westbrook this year. Like, you can't change him to be, have more of a, I don't know, shooter's mentality or just get a bunch of
Right.
shots. But I mean, it's just he knows how to play, and so the best thing is just try to kind of maximize his playing style at this point. The thing with Draymond is getting him to not, like, he just can't get another flagrant 2 foul or another flagrant run. I forget how the point system works.
It's so that you get a flagrant one, that's the free throws, and you get to stay. But if you get a second, it's an automatic ejection.
Yeah, but like if you get, I think it's like 4 points or something, like you get a game suspension.
Oh
And
yeah,
so
with like,
flagrant twos are worth like
if
2
you get
points. But if you get
yes,
4 total, you get a game suspension, and then any flagrant foul after that is another game suspension.
wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I knew there was some kind of punishment with it, but I didn't know that. Did you know
Yeah,
that
and so when you look
Draymond
at
Green?
that, like,
Okay.
debatably that's lost at least a championship for the Warriors.
That is true.
Yeah, from that already happening. And so, like, you know, I forget who told me this, but it's like there's two positions there's two positions in basketball. It's like playing or not playing. You know what I mean? And so, like, the Warriors are a great basketball team, but they're not as good without Draymond. Like, he kind of sets everything up for them, and
He does.
but it's kind of a core piece to what they do on offense and defense. So, like, he
He's the
just has
offensive
to,
line for them.
right. He has to play. Like, he just, like, for them to succeed and do what they hope
He's
to
got to be
do
on the
year
court.
in, year out, he has to play.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's an absolute glass cleaner. He's an incredible passer for a big man. He can guard, pretty much anybody in the NBA.
Yeah.
He can out rebound pretty much anybody in the NBA. He's an incredible player to have on your roster.
Right. And so, like, but then, like, Mad Dog going on, obviously I don't pay too much attention to these shows, but it is interesting because we were just talking about this.
What,
About,
you
like,
basketball players don't listen to what the media says about you? Is that what you're
yeah.
saying?
Is that what I'm
You guys don't take
insinuating?
that to heart? Like everything that everybody says? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
It's surprising. It's a surprising thing. But no. So I was actually talking about this the other day. It's like, where is that line? Because we were talking about Allen Iverson, and, like, I don't think anybody who watches basketball would say that Allen Iverson isn't mentally tough. You know what I mean? But when you look at some of his quotes about, obviously the one everybody knows him for is practice, but when I guess he had a quote about lifting weights. He was like, somebody was like, did you ever lift weights? And he was like, no, it was too heavy. You know what I mean? And so, like, it's like that kind of thing. Like Allen Iverson doesn't have to be mentally tough. It's Allen Iverson's a great basketball player, and his team needed him to win. And so I think going to that extra level is, he's trying to make a bigger point than what it needs to be. Obviously we laugh a lot about kind of old heads and their opinions on basketball. But that's for every other On the Court in the Booth podcast that I'm sure is going to be uploaded. But yeah, those are kind of just my thoughts. The Warriors need them. So don't commit another flagrant foul.
Yeah, did you see he's up to like 5th all time now for flagrant for flagrant fouls, FFF. Oh my gosh. He is top 5 now for that in that category all time.
Right.
In NBA history.
But here's the thing. So like people commend like the Pistons for how much fouling that they did. That's all they talk about is how great they were because how much they fouled. And then when you have one guy in the NBA who does this, people are all over him. You know what I mean? Like, right. So it's a weird thing. It's kind of like, that's why, at that level, no matter what you do, somebody's going to judge you, and it's going to be, it's never going to be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter what you do, it's never going to be good. So
Yeah, it'll never be good enough. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Absolutely. I just I'm at a spot right now with it where like I just want to watch him play on the court because when he's on the court, not only is he a good player, but just the way he plays, it's entertaining to watch. I mean, he's always playing with a chip on his shoulder. He always plays intense. You're never going to get excuse my language, but like a half-assed moment out of him. That just doesn't happen. That's not Draymond's MO. It's not his style. So you're never going to get anything like that from him. You're always going to get 100%, gas pedal all the way to the floor. So I just hope that he stays on the floor so that way that the Warriors have a shot. I totally agree with you. If he gets another flagrant and the Warriors end up losing another opportunity to championship because of it, because while it was the greatest comeback, I think, in NBA history, LeBron making that 3-1 comeback, a huge help for that was Draymond, his flagrant, getting him out. So, Draymond always explains it as game 5 was where he got the flagrant. So he's out for game 6. They played that in Cleveland. And right off the bat, they're going to win that game. And then it goes to game 7, and that's a 50-50 shot every single time. So that right there, I mean, that he just, kind of, I don't want to say he screwed his team because they really wouldn't have been there. I mean, obviously they still would have been a good team because they have Steph and Clay. But there's a good possibility they might not have even been there if Draymond wasn't playing. So I don't want to say that it was his fault that they lost, but him not being on the floor was a influential piece to what started and what had led to the comeback. So I just hope he doesn't make the same mistake again and cost him another ring, because if Clay comes back and Steph came back and everybody, and they're able to win a title this year, it would be really special to get to watch that. And like with Jordan Poole coming up and everything, this Warriors team is just so exciting. They're so polarizing. They whenever you think that they can't change the game any more than they already did, they begin to as well. I mean, they've already added, like, Jordan Poole has already essentially become, I don't want to jump on the ball early and say this, but at this moment, is Jordan Poole already better than Klay Thompson? I think it's close. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I mean, that's a pretty hot take. I'm not gonna lie.
You think so?
Definitely from an offensive and defensive standpoint, that's a pretty hot take.
Sure.
But no, I mean, I agree with most of what you said.
So you think Klay is better? We can't move on from this. You think Klay is way better?
Klay is definitely a better player.
I don't doubt that he's not a better player. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of stuff happening now where it seems like Klay is on his way out of Golden State. It seems like they're kind of moving on to the next. He did get hurt. He did get hurt.
And so, like, it's like he's still kind of coming back from that. I think that in Jordan Poole, I mean, he's just gotten a chance to develop, and for sure, like, first off, he's an amazing player. Like, he's gotten so much better over this past year. It's actually been incredible to watch. But on Draymond a little bit, like, he plays hard, but I feel like he also is one of the players that plays with a purpose on the floor.
Sure.
And I don't know if Klay and Poole necessarily bring that aspect to what he's doing, if that makes sense. Like, Draymond 100% knows his role, and his main goal is getting other people in spots where they can score. And so, but, Poole and Thompson's role is to score the basketball. Thompson's
put the ball in the
hoop, looking to score at all times. You can just tell.
Catch and shoot.
And Steve Kerr has given Jordan Poole the same kind of advice. Like, the way, I mean, they are shooting everything right now. I saw their last,
but they're hitting it too. I mean, it's a good shooting team.
Yeah, no, yeah. For sure. I mean, when like I say, you have Klay, and then the way that Poole's shooting, like, I'd let him shoot like that too. But, like,
give him the green light.
Definitely have the green light for sure. And so
there's 3 players on that roster that have the green light. Think about that.
The ultimate green.
That just like what Steph Curry. We don't even need to mention the green light Steph Curry has. If Steph Curry decided that for an entire game he was going to shoot full court shots, who's going to tell him no?
Yeah.
I mean, really, who's going to sit here and say, yeah, you can't do that? I think that guy literally I'm exaggerating a little bit with the full court thing, but from the point of half court
for a second.
No. From the point of half court forward. from the point of half court forward, Steph Curry has a complete green light anywhere he wants to go, and nobody's going to be mad.
It is for sure a decent shot. Yeah, no, I agree with you. But yeah, and so I do think they need Draymond's presence. There's nobody else on the roster that can kind of make up for what he brings defensively and offensively, and so they need him on that. But yeah, the Klay Thompson versus Jordan Poole was a terrible take. I have to tell you that.
You're not a big fan of that.
No, that was a bad take. That was a really bad take.
No, I'm
like if you went on First Take, Stephen A. Smith would have torn you apart. And that's Stephen A. Smith. Okay, that's sad. That's sad.
There you go. Yeah. No, I've been seeing him on the court more recently. I've been.
Of course you have, because the other guy's been injured.
Yeah, and that's true. But I don't know. It seems like not that Klay is like some scrub or anything. That's true. That's true. It's definitely some recency bias. Yeah, there's definitely some recency bias in it, for sure. But I love the way that he's playing basketball, and it almost seems like we're coming up to a passing of the torch moment. It almost I don't want to say he's better than Klay now, but it just seems like we're headed toward the passing of the torch.
Yeah. I mean,
like
I said, like why
is that a bad take too?
No. Like, why didn't I joke all the time about these things? No, I definitely think there are some things that Jordan Poole does that Klay just can't do. I think he's a better ball handler. I think he can score in different ways than Klay can. But I think Klay's more of knows his role a little bit better. And so I think Klay knows, like, he's a shooter, like he's going to shoot. And but you don't want Klay in like an isolation situation for a lot of points in a lot of moments in the game. Klay's also a really good defender too. And so I don't know if, Poole's gotten to that level yet. But yeah, I mean, for sure. I think if you put them on different teams, I mean, depending on what team they go to, yeah, you can make that argument. But I think, Klay Thompson's a Hall of Fame basketball player.
Absolutely, yeah.
Multiple-time champion. Like, it's kind of hard to say that right now. But, hey, you never know. Wyatt Williams may, what if Jordan Poole ends up being better than Michael Jordan? Wyatt Williams would have called it.
At this point, yeah.
You know what? I'm rooting for you, Wyatt. I'm rooting for Jordan Poole from now on.
Yeah, there we go. I'm pulling for him too. That way it works out. But next episode of On the Court in the Booth in the books now. 1 minute challenge. We're tied up now, man. 1-1.
Did you add the clip in from last time?
I did. I threw it in at the very end, so they do know who won. I threw it, and I put in the description of the video, like, hey, make sure you check out at the end after we run the theme music back again. I edited it in at the very end, so it was in there. For sure. It was like a 1:38 clip, something like that. But it showed, like, I started it in Adobe Premiere. I watched the film up until I saw Nikki's head come out over my shoulder, and at the point where Nikki was like right here, that's whenever I cut the clip and started it from there and sent it back until. And then I got some of the cleanup process too, where Harsh and Nikki were taking off all the toilet paper that we had just wrapped, man. So, anyways, 1-1. We got some simulation theory. We got basketball talk in. We got everything. This was a great episode. Dynamite episode.
This was a great episode. I am going to, for next episode, guys, I'm going to study a little bit more. And so my presentation is going to be a little bit better. But
what are you presenting next time?
We'll probably go on morality and ethics next time, just because that's more of my field.
There we go.
So like I can give a good 15-minute presentation on that.
Absolutely. You're gonna make a PowerPoint and everything. I'll show you how to share your screen on here. We can look at you, share it. You can just go along. There we go. Yeah. We can make this. We can make this a hit. I mean, we can knock this out of the park.
Yeah. So probably what's going to happen is we'll record on Monday, and I will be looking over my notes on Monday 2 minutes before the recording.
Sounds good. Well, We appreciate everybody, as always, for tuning in. We appreciate everybody for subscribing, liking, everything. And we are up almost to 35,000 now total, as we see a wonderful image of Wyatt Santa Claus there. Isn't that good?
Wow.
That's incredible, isn't it? What else do we have up there? We got the oh, can we show that for copyright reasons? Can we show the Chester's hot fries real quick? Can we do that?
Wow.
I think we can. It's
Not
Chester's,
Cheetos.
not Cheetos.
It's
That's
Chester's,
true.
not Cheetos.
I mean, I guess we're not making anything off of it, so I mean, I don't know. But
I don't know how
anyways,
that works.
Chester's not. I don't
But-
either. We might have
but I'm not a
just
dentist,
canceled
but I
ourselves
don't
here. Yeah.
recommend that.
Yeah. I'm with this one right here. Is that what you're talking about? I'm not a
Yes.
dentist, but I don't recommend that. Or another personal favorite of mine, what we were just mentioning, it's Chester's, not Cheetos.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, any closing remarks before we send this out?
No. Nope. Stephen Curry's a good basketball player. And
Oh, yeah.
that wraps it up.
That wraps it up. We're out on that. See you guys. Peace out.